Alright, we're rolling.
New York.
I remember. Yeah, tricky. I only got a tricky one. I would consider one of the more complex. So, lucky you. I'm sure you'll do a great job with it. Thank you. Material. All right.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ellen Wilson. I'm the school board president for the Harrisburg School District. And just recently, we've put out our preliminary budget plans for the 2012-2013 school year. And luckily, we have closed our $6 million budget gap, but we still are planning for how to go about our $125 million budget. It's no secret that the school district has been struggling. We have failed our yearly adequate progress for about 15 years. We're in corrective action to 10th year. And our high school graduation rate is at 38%. That's completely different than our 83% state average. And we've been ranked 494th out of 497th of PA school districts. So over the past 2 years, we've been struggling. We've had to cut 300 teachers and administrators, and we've closed 5 school buildings. But our main focus is education with these low scores. So with our lack of funds, we're considering cutting extracurriculars, band, and sports, and that'll save hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're considering a pay-to-play option where students can pay about $100 to play their sport or band or extracurricular. It's not desirable, and I understand that extracurriculars are important, and a lot of students are inspired more by their extracurriculars than by their normal education. But with graduation rates so low and our test scores so low, we're a school, and that's our main focus. We're also considering cutting kindergarten, which would save about $1.6 million, and letting go of 26 teachers. We'd also increase taxes by 2.5% and cut 63 teachers, 1 assistant superintendent, 2 assistant principals, and 7 security guards. Other solutions include the administration accepting a 15 to 20% pay cut, and that would be about $900,000 in savings. Another way we can handle our horrible budget would be to ask businesses in the community to contribute towards saving our kindergarten program. They're drastic measures, but the budget has to be balanced at 0, and if it's not, we have to, by law, rework it until we are at 0, and if it isn't reworked, we cannot spend any money whatsoever. So it has to be done. So the school board will be voting on all of these preliminary budget plans next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. So come to the board meeting if you have any input, and I'll take any questions right now. Yes?
If test scores reduce, will you rehire teachers?
I do not like to speculate, but we do get more funding from the state the better our test scores are, so we would have more funding to pay teachers. Yes?
Like for example, what you said, you'd have to lay off like 26 teachers. Is there anything being done for like the kindergarten that's being shut down, like those students and all these teachers being laid off? Will you be doing anything for them?
There's a grant that we're working with lawmakers that would help pay for our kindergarten program, but if that's not passed, there's nothing we can do about our kindergarten program. We just don't have the money for it. We're also considering cutting busing for the kindergartners to save money for their program. Yes, Adam?
With all the schools being closed, where will the students that went to those schools be attending now?
They've been relocated to our other schools. We have quite a few, and those schools have been shut down because of poor attendance anyway. Yes?
People might say like sports and like music and other activities improve test scores. If you cut the program, do you think the test scores will go down more?
That's a difficult question. It could for some students, it might not for others. It's all about what inspires our students. Yes?
Do you think talking to other school districts about what they think would be the best would be a good idea?
We have talked to other school districts, but I think a lot of schools in the state and in the nation are struggling. So, excuse me, they're all kind of in the same position. Maybe not as bad as us, but they're still struggling. Yes?
Do you feel like drawing parents away from sending their children to your school by cutting all of these programs and funding?
There has been an exodus of students and families from the Harrisburg School District in the past 5 years. As much as, you know, our teachers love our students, and hopefully some of our students love coming to school, but there has been an exodus. Yes.
Since you are cutting the kindergarten, do you think a preschool is going to be picking up that kindergarten? Or do you think students are going to be left going from a preschool grade all the way up into first grade, just jumping a few steps?
I think it depends on the income of the family. I'm pretty sure families have to pay for preschool. So if they can't afford more preschool to make up for kindergarten, then they'll just be going right into first grade.
I'm gonna say you have a lot of working parents,
Yes.
that now may not be able to work, so they have to stay home with their children if you do cut kindergarten. I would argue that these kids who, and some of the parents won't stop working and they'll leave their probably kids home. So you're gonna be possibly raising a whole generation of kids that are coming up that may have been getting into trouble that they wouldn't have been getting into in that very early stage of their life. I mean, would you not consider, if education is your number one, why would you be cutting out the very core? I think there's research that shows that kids absorb things at the ages 3 to 6 so much. Why would you be cutting one of the most essential grades out of your curriculum?
Well, we've been cutting things for years trying to make up for our budget, but we've been running out of things to cut, and of course we don't want to cut kindergarten. We know how important it is, but we've kind of reached the end of our rope, and if cutting extracurriculars, which a lot of students and parents aren't happy about, isn't enough, kindergarten's the last thing we can cut. But yes, it is important. Yes.
You said that the board will be voting on this outcome in the future. What do you think their opinion on these issues is?
It's difficult because we know a lot of the teachers, we know a lot of the students. We don't want to let anyone go, but we have to. And it's also a bit tricky because we would be talking about cutting their income by 15 to 20%. So it'll be a long meeting and it'll be pretty heated, but hopefully some productive things will come out of it.
Good job. That's a tough one, and that is currently going on. I mean, that's 8's tough. You talk about a city school that exits some